Okay, this is the next tutorial on the car body, and we're going to actually put in the rounds next. And you can see that there's some notes here written about the rounds. You have all large rounds are 8 millimeters, but actually we're not drawing in the metric system anymore. This is an old PDF, but it doesn't matter. So 8 units. We're going to do all small rounds at 2 units, and I will tell you that the 8 rounds have to be done first. And what we're looking for is there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds that are 8 millimeters, and you're going to click every edge that goes from side of car to side of car. So when we go back to our drawing here, go ahead and click off of everything before you click a command, and then we're going to find the round tool. We're going to put in 8 units, enter, and then everything you click will be 8 now. So we're going to actually click every line, or I should say every edge that goes from side to side. So we're not clicking that, we're not clicking that, we're not clicking that, but we're clicking every edge that goes from side to side. So we'll just go ahead and go through here. And I don't know if you are seeing this, but this is much faster to round all these edges like this than to do this in the original two-dimensional drawing with a bunch of circles. So that was really fast. And once you've got all 10 of those in there, there you go. It's redefined the whole shape of the car. Now when you come back to your PDF, you're going to see that there's 2 unit rounds, and that goes all the way around this edge now. So the way this car works, you have to do what's on the PDF. I mean, for the most part. And then that gives me something concrete to grade you on. And let's go ahead and click on round here while I talk to you. But then you can add anything additional you want to make it cool with. So we're going to click that edge there, and we're going to click that edge there. Okay? But everybody needs the basic car, and then later on we're going to add a whole bunch of stuff to this. You know, you can add spoiler, you can add windshield, steering wheel, cool little flower on the side, headlights, you name it. Anything you can dream up to add to your car will be worth extra. Not extra credit, but it'll get you closer to an A. So go ahead and accept that. And you can see there's all the rounds on the cars. Now we have an option here. We can do the hole in the car, or we can do the dovetail cutout in the car. It really doesn't matter what order you do it in. But let's go ahead and just jump down and do the dovetail cutout. And let's look at the dimensions here. Let's zoom in just a little bit. That's what's nice about opening up the PDF, is that we can actually see the drawing a little bit bigger, and we're going to make this what's called a dovetail cutout. And it's called dovetail cutout because it's shaped like a dove's tail. It's a common engineering type of fit that allows things to lock together by nature of its shape, and so it won't fall apart. So it's going to be a height of 12. We have an interior upper angle of 80.5 because 80.5 is a vertical angle to this angle inside. And then we have a top width of 31, and it's centered in the car, and it is a removed material cutout all the way through the car. So let's go ahead and do that. It is going to be an extrude. I'm sure you figured that out. And you could draw it from this plane and send it in both directions, you know, forward and backward. Or you could draw from the front surface of the car. If I can click on it here, right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that front surface and then sketch view. Now I'm looking at the car. Now it is possible you might have to set a reference at the bottom. Now I know I can see that I can snap to that point. I can snap to the point over here. You could set a reference, you know, at the middle here. So right click and set references. You can never really set too many references. So if you're not sure if you need something, you know, set a reference. You can always not use it. Get your line chain and go ahead and rough out what this shape is going to look like. So we're just kind of guesstimating, I guess if you will, what this dovetail cutout is going to look like. And then our dimensions are actually going to make it correct. So the width is going to be 31. The height is going to be 12. And we don't know that number, so we're going to let that go. We need an upper interior angle of 80.5. And then we got to go to our dimension tool. We got to put another upper interior angle. So from here to here, middle click, 80.5. Okay, we're getting close. Now you can see it's not centered. So we're going to add another dimension, from center line to edge, middle click. And this is going to be our 15.5, which is half of 31. Now let's say you didn't have this plane here. You could always go from this outer edge to the end point there, and then do the math, and you're going to say, okay, 58 minus 31 divided by 2, and you're going to get like 13.5. You could put that number in there. So once you've got that drawing done, you can accept it, and by default, it's going to try to add material, but we're gonna actually click remove material here, send it all the way through, and the reason that didn't show up there with any added material is because of the way I drew it. If you recall, I drew 1, 2, 3 lines. I never closed it at the bottom, so it could have never added material. It would have only been able to subtract. So this is going back all the way now through the car, so it's at least 162 in depth, and then you can accept it, and you can see that's our dovetail cutout going all the way through the car. Okay, so next we're going to do holes for the passenger in the next tutorial.